Welcome back to the DNA Pest Control Podcast. Wow. Can I say Free Talk? Oh, no. I'm not going to say Free Talk Friday because it's not Free Talk Friday. And I bet everyone was waiting for an episode to drop or a podcast to drop. I don't even know what you call it. But I bet everyone was waiting for this on Friday. But I actually had one recorded, and I want to say I went in. Actually, it's not what I want to say. What I did is I actually deleted it. Okay, so I had one all ready to go to drop on Friday, and I decided to not throw it out there. And the reason why is because I wanted to change it up a little bit, twist some things on what I said, and come out with something new and fresh. So I wanted to say, first off, thank you to all of the guests that were in this month, NPMM, National Pest Management Month. I want to say thank you to all the technicians who jumped on, who I could interview. Honestly, you guys are amazing. You did an amazing job. It was a ton of fun, and I'm so glad that we were able to do this. And really show appreciation to the technicians out there that are putting in the work and doing everything the right way, not the wrong way, okay? Not you lazy technicians out there. Stop doing that. But to the technicians who actually were out there doing it the right way. And we got to hear them. We got to hear the guys out there, the girls out there that are actually doing the work, hitting the ground, killing the bugs. It's awesome. I loved it. It was so much fun, and I'm so glad I got to meet a ton of you. This experience with the podcast and everything has honestly just opened up so many opportunities for me personally to be able to get to know a ton of different people in the industry. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody who did come onto the podcast and who did allow me to interview them, and who were not afraid to do this, which is, I get it. Sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but thank you so much for coming on and just being a friend, just talking, shooting the shit about pest control. So thanks for coming on. I also wanted to catch everybody up a little bit with what's going on in my life. So some things that have been going on that's been pretty crazy is I have a baby on the way. So I talked about my wife being pregnant in previous episodes, but the baby is due soon, okay? So when you hear this episode, which is actually not going to be far from when I actually record it, so just a few hours, and then it's going to drop. But I'm going to have a baby soon, so it's pretty crazy. So if I go a little MIA and you guys don't hear any new podcasts coming out, I want to formally apologize now, but I'm going to do my best to keep throwing out some good content for you guys. Just like in my personal story, I didn't have someone who could teach me. I didn't have anybody there to actually guide me through the pest control industry, and I hope to help you guys. I hope to be that guide for you. And so I've gotten some awesome feedback and a few people asking about bed bugs and what chemicals I use. So moving on to the next thing, I will actually do a specific bed bug episode and the chemicals I use and why I use those certain chemicals. I'm not going to throw anything out right now because it's way too much to cover. And in this episode really isn't for that. That's not the point of the episode today. So today is just to kind of talk about a little bit of what's happening and what's going on. But to the next point, okay, the next point of what I want to talk about is what's up and coming in this podcast. So I have been doing a lot of work knowing that the baby's coming, just so everyone knows. And I have been interviewing a ton of people, okay? An absolutely enormous amount of people. So, with that being said, there's going to be a lot of episodes being dropped this month about chemicals specifically, how they work, how to use them, how to take care of certain insects, not from me, okay? I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to have the people who are actually making the product tell you how to do it, okay? So that is an awesome little opportunity for you guys to listen in and actually learn some crazy stuff that I didn't even know about, that I got to learn. So be ready for that when that drops, and that is coming out, okay? I'm telling you, we have an episode Tuesday, we have an episode Friday. You're going to start hitting these. We're going to get these going, and they're awesome episodes. Just get ready for it. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about new products that are coming out. We're going to talk about products that are already out and what the uses of them are. In one of the episodes, which is going to be awesome because I learned a ton, is actually when to change up chemicals and what chemicals to change them to. Okay, it's a big mistake that we make as professionals. We're out there, we deal with these chemicals, but we're not educated on the actual chemical themselves. And so we think we're actually changing up a chemical, but in all reality, we're not. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about, man? Why? What? Just wait. That episode's going to come out and you're going to learn a ton. Okay, I'm going to bring your knowledge to the next level. Next thing I'm going to talk about, because it has been a crazy, absolutely crazy April for me, which is awesome because we're talking about technicians and National Pest Management Month, is I actually acquired another business. And no, not just a business, an actual pest control business, okay? So I actually have one currently, and I had the awesome opportunity to meet with another owner and purchase his company, still out in the in California. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the process that I went through to get this company up and running. And I want to throw something else out there, is this guy was still using paper. Okay, some of you guys out there, if you're still using paper, oh my goodness, like, I don't know how you do it. I mean, I'm glad you don't know anything else, because holy crap, if you knew something else, you would not, I'm telling you, you would burn all of those stacks of paper. It's been absolute hell for me, okay? Me, my wife, my secretary at my business, I mean, their workers over there, everybody has been putting in a crazy amount of time to input all this information into our system to get everything up and going, and still we have to go back and cross-reference a ton of stuff. And I'm telling you, they are on paper, and oh my goodness, I want to just, and I'm glad it's not a massive company I took over, because that would have sucked way worse than now. It's a small company, but oh my gosh, still the amount of clients they have is quite a bit, and all the information we have to input, and it's all coming from paper, and they have to print all this out, and the guys have to fill out these tags, and they got to rip the papers and leave. I mean, it is crazy what it's like, but I want to dive into that with you guys. I want you to understand, as a technician, as an owner, as a tech that works for an owner that is still old school, that is still running off of paper, is someone needs to go in there and slap the shit out of him and wake him up, or wake her up, or wake whoever's up that's up there that's running it this way. And if you're that person, you need to get smacked, because there is such a better way. I have 2 episodes that just came out about pest control systems that are literally specific to our industry, that make it so we can run a route and a business so efficiently that you do not have to have a team behind you to do it. I'm telling you right now, the system I use, if I was a single man running whatever, my company, and I didn't have any other technicians, I don't know what I would do without this system. It collects money for you. It will send out invoices for you. It can actually even schedule for you if you want it to do that. I don't go that far. I like doing my route. I can do it a lot better than the system. Unfortunately, it's still flawed in that area, but you're not going to find a perfect system. You just need to find the best one for you. And so moving on from that, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you how this even came about and how we ended up going from a conversation on the phone to close within like 2 weeks. Okay. I'm telling you, like literally taking over the business within 3, closing everything out within a week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, it was crazy fast how everything ended up lining up perfectly. It was definitely meant to be, but at the worst time, with baby and everything. So it's been pretty crazy, so recap, remember there's some awesome episodes coming out. You have to listen to those. And if you want some crazy knowledge, get ready. An episode I'm going to drop for sure for everybody who's been asking and they keep hitting me up with emails and DMing me on Instagram. I will come out with an episode on bed bug specific and on the chemicals I personally use. And I will even go as far as to explain why I use those specific chemicals, for what reason I'm using those chemicals, and even where I'm using those chemicals, okay? So I will let you know everything. I'm not going to hold anything back because I didn't want that to be from me anyway, anyone holding that back. So I'm not going to hold back from you guys. I will throw everything out there. I am going to tell you what I use and how I use it. And if it works in your situation or your state, awesome. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're out of the state of California, I do suggest to go and talk to a rep that sells chemicals, okay? And one of the episodes that's going to be coming out shortly is going to be with one of the reps that sells me chemicals. He saw me from day one. He guided me from day one on what to get, when to get it, how to get it, what to use it for. He even gave me information to call people when I didn't know how to do something or how to use a certain product. And so use those people as a reference. Going back to the business I just bought, this guy didn't actually have a rep guiding him, and which I'll get into later on an episode, but I sat down with one of his techs who's now going to be coming on with me, which is awesome. I'm so happy he stayed. But he had to go and find some chemicals he didn't even know existed. And so that's a huge error that I think some of the old school technicians, old school managers, old school owners do, is they kind of do their own thing. And this guy buys his chemical from some like agricultural lawn care business in that area. And he doesn't actually buy the chemicals from a specific pest control dealer where he didn't have hours coming in for continuous education hours. He didn't have a lot of stuff and he didn't know. And so I don't blame him. I mean, he ran his business how he always knew how to run it. The problem is he was running it the same way as 40 years ago. We've come a long way. We're in a different world now, a different industry. I mean, he was telling me stories about how he used to have a massive powder machine thing on his back. And some of you guys actually may know this that you're listening, that he would stick to one of the crawl space vents and you could dust underneath an entire house with this thing. I didn't even know that stuff existed, but we don't do that anymore. You know, so where he came from an era where he was using a lot of these chemicals that are illegal today and were probably actually really harmful. So he has these stories. It's crazy. I'm going to get him on too. I plan on talking to him and pulling him in and talking about those old, those times way back when. But he's a good guy, but there's so much stuff that was missing there. And I could only imagine if he actually incorporated what the technology we have today into his business that he has, how much more he could have and how many more technicians he would have running in that area. And so I'm excited to see the growth. He's staying on. He's going to be a mentor. He's going to be the mascot, I guess. I mean, he's going to be the man. And I'm keeping him around, which is great. And he totally loves that idea. And so he's going to be just sitting in the background. He's not going to be doing anything, but he is going to be there still. And I want him to see what this thing's going to turn into. And I'm excited for him to see that, because he has no idea what his company, and I'm keeping the original name, I'm keeping the original logos, everything. And so he's going to see this whole massive change, and it's going to be exciting for me, and it's going to be exciting for him. And his family gets to see this legacy keep going, 40 years into it. It's just going to be awesome. I'm super excited for it. But enough about me and enough about taking your guys' time on this wonderful weekend. I hope everybody enjoys their Saturday. And really, the Saturday Warriors out there, keep it up. Keep killing it. I'm out there. I'm going to be working. I'm going to be putting in my time with the new business and my current business. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy time that's coming up. But stick with it, everybody. Thank you for listening. And remember, I'm still giving away hats, guys. I'm still giving away stickers. Come on, send the information in. Let's get this stuff out. It's free. I'm not even charging you guys anything for it. So please, please, please reach out. We have a Facebook page going. I'm not super active there, so forgive me for that. But once everything smooths over, I'm going to go right back in at 100%. Other thing is Instagram. If you have any questions, DM me. I may not answer you directly or answer the question that you ask, because honestly, your questions help me come out with better episodes and better information to help you. And so if I don't answer your question directly, or it may take me a little bit to answer it, it's because I want to answer it through a podcast. I want to answer it in public, not in private. I want everybody to know. I don't want just one person to know. So sorry if it's taken a little bit to get that episode out. But remember, you can always DM me on Instagram. For some reason, it blocks people, but I will accept you. And so I will look at it. But that's at DNA Pest Podcast, okay? At DNA Pest Podcast. You can also email at dnapestpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website and you can always subscribe there to the email list, or you can even apply to be a guest. We love to have guests on. I love doing interviews, guys. I love talking to you. It's a ton of fun. So you can go on there, and that's obviously www.dnapestpodcast.com. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. And don't forget, I still have a ton of hats to give out for free. So please hit me up with your address. I'll send you a free hat. Let's get you guys these hats, okay? Go and follow me on Instagram. Go into the Facebook group chat. We'll get you that hat, okay? Thanks for listening, and get ready for an awesome day.